Hey Pisces, I hope you guys are doing amazing. We're going to tap into your energy, so do take it as it resonates. And thank you to your spirit team, your ancestors, your deceased loved ones for showing up for you today and being a part of this reading to give you guidance, to give you reassurance, to give you clarity, as well as thank you to God for allowing me to guide this reading through all of those specific channels that are opening up for Pisces today. What is the energy that we are needing to talk about with Pisces? The divine masculine, the yang, the masculine energy is coming to be, the chess piece, the king. Divine masculine. Let's see one more. What's going on with this divine masculine? Let's get a little bit more detail. I might have to turn the music down. It's a little bit loud all of a sudden. There's conflict as well as depth here. So with the conflict, it has clashing differences and compatibility, and with the depth, it's awareness, importance, and value. So I want you guys to realize it doesn't have to be like somebody that's another masculine, okay, like somebody who's a male. It could be the masculine polarity within yourself. So in this sense, you could be conflicting with your own masculine. You could be a beautiful woman who has this, wonderful feminine potential, and you know it, and there's a masculine energy that may try to control or almost not allow the feminine energy within self to flourish the way one feminine energy deserves to and knows that they are worthy of. And the masculine energy is like really needing to allow themselves to trust and have more faith and allow themselves to ground into their true masculinity, which is that security. And that could be a lot of what's happening within a lot of us. If you're a masculine yourself, like you are a male, you could have, we all have masculine and feminine polarity. So we all have those traits within us. And that's where we find the balance. But there could be a masculine energy dealing with masculine energy where it's controlling the feminine parts of the masculine, like, no, you're not allowed to cry, no, you're not allowed to have emotion, no, but there's so much depth within yourself here. There's so much awareness, importance, and value, and you're in both your masculine and in your feminine. But right now the main focus is the masculine's energy, and the depth of the masculine. There is so much potential if that masculine could actually have the feeling of confidence to rise. Okay, so this is about the differences between the masculine and the feminine energies, and the differences between the masculine that is healed versus the masculine that is unhealed, as well as the clashing of wanting and knowing one needs to have specific things, but knowing and clashing with the old programs and conditionings and projections. So yes, there's like, wanting to be emotional, wanting to be vulnerable, wanting to, let one be exposed. But then there's this energy within that's also like, remember when your dad said not to do this, to be bad ASS, to not let anybody see how you truly feel inside, et cetera, et cetera. But these are generational cycles that have cursed us and made us suppress our emotions, suppress things that cause us to be sicker, quicker, as well as older, faster. So yes, no, a lot of these things actually cause our aging process to speed up because we're not actually dealing with the things we need to be dealing with, and we're always rushing to the next thing. We're never able to relax, kick back, and enjoy what we got to deal with at the moment we're dealing with it. Some people just don't want to face things. They let things build up so much that there's so much to unpack. It's almost like if you're to think of like an attic or a basement, right? People that don't really want to deal with specific things, they just put it in the attic or the basement. Nobody's going to go in the attic. Nobody's going to go in the basement. Nobody's going to see those places, right? But when they finally have to move, that's the one place they're dreading to do, right? And that's exactly what it's like with your actual mind, with your actual ability to recognize who you are and who you are in a sense of self. Now on the bottom is elusive, dishonesty, deception, and trickery. And I feel like it's really the fact that everybody's been tricked. Everybody's been tricked. Even the people, the generation before us, the generation before them, the generation before them, like it keeps going on. They were all tricked. They were all fooled. They were all an elusive, where if you look at this picture, you can see it was foggy, it was unclear. They were walking through smog, basically, following one by one, not able to look around and actually see what's beyond the fog. No, they were worried and fearful and clouded with judgment, not from just themselves, but from others. And but underneath that is the possibilities. Okay, there's possibilities to have your free-spirited energy, be adventurous, and take risks. That's what that is about. I'm gonna leave those two actually right there chilling. And under that's the obscurity, secrets, mysteries, and concealing. That's the energy. It's been concealed from us to know the true secrets of life. And those secrets would be the things that would activate us through our ability to discover through the mystery and the unknown unfearfully. So we'd be fearless to do so, right? mostly everything that's conditioned into us or programmed into us is a trap. A trap for us to never find out who we truly are and what our power really truly can do, and how many people we can truly save and benefit, as well as ourselves. But we got the Three of Swords because there's a lot of pain, division. That's the perfect card, because what is this? A division between what? Feminine and masculine polarities, energies. I mean, yes, for some of you, it could be a relationship. You could be with a masculine if you're a feminine, and this is the issue. This is the issue at hand, and you're dealing with this masculine that may be fighting with their own little masculine traits that are unhealed masculine energies, and they can't seem to get past a certain limit within themselves. They can't break past that, so it's keeping them in a loop. And for others of you, you could be the masculine yourself and you love this beautiful female, and this female could have issues with her masculine, or you could be the one that has issues with your masculine, and you're just trying to be better for this feminine. You're trying, you're striving to do the better things to save this relationship, to create better memories or better experiences, or even a wonderful future together. Like, there's things that all of you are really desiring, and this is good to know that, because obviously, look, you're aware, spirit's aware. This is great to know that you are getting this advice, this clarity, that you are reassured that you're you're on the right path. You are right now. You're on the right path, doing what you got to do, thinking about the things you're thinking, wondering how you're going to do better. How is this going to happen? How can I improve? How can I see the glass is half full? Yeah, that's the energy I'm seeing. And so you're really trying to work through a lot of sadness, sorrow, pain, resentment, betrayals, people that were unloyal to you, that hurt you, that caused you to feel like you had to have your guard up. Though, like where we have to unlearn certain things and certain habits because we had to learn those habits to survive. Well, some of the times we actually finally have to unlearn things so that we can learn new things, because it's like getting rid of certain things in that basement so that you can replace new things into that basement. But hopefully you go through them and organize them, so that you can also check the basement every day of your life, like the temple within you. Your body has your mental, your emotional, your sexual, your spiritual, your physical rooms. Financial is like kind of an add-on, but basically you have all your rooms and you check them every day. You go in and you make sure it's all organized, it's all good, it's got attention, it's getting its recognition, it's being cleaned up, there's no cobwebs, everything is looking nice and precise, and you feel good with it. Or if you have to sit in that room a little bit longer, that's totally okay. You can do that because there's nobody telling you that you can't. But as long as you make sure you're still entering in every room to make sure everything is feeling like it's being appreciated, which is exactly what we all deserve in generality. So when we can give ourselves that appreciation, when we can make sure we are right with ourselves, we are not looking for external validation. We're not looking outside of ourselves for anything, because by the time we really heal and really understand things, we know to look within ourselves is the right way, and it is the answer. Even if it's not right for the next person or that person or whoever, family members, friends, neighbors, coworkers, whatever, it doesn't have to be right for them because they're not the one doing it. It's not their life that they're living. You are living your life, and it is divinely your life. This is your map. Everybody's got a map to their treasure. Everybody's got a map. Nobody's maps are the same. Okay? You're a pirate and you're on an adventure. You're learning things. Don't follow that person, because that map that they have is for a treasure that they desire, not something you're going to want to desire, not something that you're going to want. Promise you that. So just trust in the faith, like have faith in God and know what He is really pulling you towards, where you are headed. Okay? Because this is where it starts, is the balance, is the energy of inner sanctuary and sovereignty, where you can find that peace, that balance, that love, that joy, where you can reassure yourself even if you go through things like conflict, and when you can also accept that people are always going to project things onto you that they can't deal with on their own, or deal with within themselves. So they're going to say a lot of things, but once you realize it's a reflection of how they truly feel about themselves and what they specifically could never truly break past, that has nothing to do with you. You don't have to be triggered. You don't have to worry. It does not have to interrupt your peace. You do not have to absorb these people's energies. No, these people are living their life and having their experiences, right? And I'm pretty sure you don't want to have this. You are not, if you needed to have those guys' experience, you would be in that body. You would be that person. You are not that person for a reason. You see what I'm saying? You are supposed to have the experiences that you're supposed to have. You're supposed to follow what your heart desires. And you're not supposed to allow people to talk you out of things. You're not supposed to. I mean, yes, you can take advice, but then once you talk yourself out of it, that's a different story. But when you allow yourself to just let somebody else control your thoughts and then not allow you to go deeper, because that's basically looking for external validation. And then once you feel like you got the validation from somebody else and they told you not to do something, or they told you not to go about it in that way, you're immediately like, okay, I won't. That's not thinking for yourself. That's not you taking that advice in and kind of going through the information that you just received and understanding it at a better level, and maybe even seeing certain things that could bring you to a better benefit, because in their mind, they wouldn't be thinking the same things you are. You see what I'm saying? So you generate what they had said to you and process it through your own brain, and you take what you need from it and you get rid and discard the rest. And when you do that, you obtain knowledge. So you weren't shutting this whole situation out. You weren't shutting that person's advice out. You weren't shutting your own thoughts out. So you still have that recognition from self. Say, oh, you know what? Thank you. You took that person's advice, but you still allowed yourself to understand where I was coming from, where yourself was coming from. And yes, you deserve to have help from the outside. But that's what people will do, and sometimes people take it the wrong way and then they shut down. But that's a cycle they need to learn, and it doesn't mean they're failing. It just means they haven't learned exactly what they need to learn to be ready for the next step. Because to be ready for the next step, you have to learn what you need to. And if you're not getting it necessarily, and there's still maybe some things you didn't all the way get, there has to be repeated cycles. Sorry, I know I could talk forever. Let's keep going. Strength. I mean, this is a really good complete energy of release of control, basically serenity, right? Where you are allowing yourself to accept the things that you can control, but then you ask God for the ability to accept and not really truly put too much into the things that you can't control. Yeah. The Two of Swords is here too. Choices. You got Libra's energy very heavy here. Something about Venus specifically, or the 7th house. Chinese, your dog could be significant too. For some of you, it could be life path number 3 or 2. Something could be like the ages between 23 and 32 for some of you too. Maybe something about 32 more days. But well, with the Two of Swords, obviously, it's inability to make a decision because one doesn't have all the information to make the decision clearly, like to make a clear decision. They don't have all the information to do that. So they're stuck in this divide, which is the division. Of course, we were talking about with that 3 of Swords, with the masculine, feminine. That's the split. That's the fork in the road. The fork in the road with the being a swords, it's a mentality. It's a mental energy. It's where you are mentally. So this gives me all of the knowledge, because we just really went over everything. That one road is the people's advice, and the other road is the people's advice as well as your own advice, and everything processed through. And you're going to know, maybe there is, like for some of you feel like there's a blockage, right? There's a blockage on that one direction. There's a block. You're like, maybe I shouldn't go that way. Well, that way is going to give you the best experience ever. You're going to learn so many beautiful things. There's going to be so much divine guidance. There's going to be so many new awakenings as well as downloads that you're going to be receiving. No, that's the way. That is. And you may feel like, oh, how do I get around this block? Well, you can't go over it. You can't go under it. You guys remember those like preschool songs we used to do? Or you slap your like legs, or you slap on the floor, and you're like, we gotta go through it. Whatever. Anyway, that's what I'm getting. It's like childlike play. Childlike adventure. There it is. What are you really going to do? You're going to follow the lane that everybody goes? Are you going to finally find your own authenticity and your own individuality? And you're going to be like, you know what? I might get lost. I might get a little bit bruised up. I might find, but this is going to be the experience of a lifetime. This is the path less traveled. I hope that makes sense for you guys, because that's kind of like a poetic version of like, hey, yo, guys, you need to do what you got to do. You got to follow your heart. You got to feel. If you're a masculine, feel your feelings. It doesn't matter. Cry. You know what? Women really like it when a man actually can cry in front of them, when a man can actually be very divinely genuine and kind and offering to a female. That offering from the vulnerability of the emotion, you know how amazing that is, and how much a woman really loves that? They love that. Okay, and I'm going to tell you from a woman's perspective, I absolutely love when a man can actually tell me every little thing and every little detail and cry about whatever they need to cry about, and really get into depth of their truest, deepest emotions. And yes, it brings you closer. It really does. It really does, especially if you have a feminine energy that's really listening with nothing but heart and purity with that. No negative intentions, no anything to go after you. But you gotta feel safe no matter what. You gotta feel safe with yourself. You can't feel safe with other people all the time. But if you feel safe with you, you're gonna be good. You got you, right? So no matter what happens, you are being authentic. You are expressing yourself. You are giving what you felt was necessary to give. And it wasn't just that you felt it, it was that you needed to, and you knew it, and you did it, and you honored it. And when you do that, you step into a version of yourself that does not need anybody to tell you how to live, what to do, what to say, how to say it. No, you get to say however you need to say it, and you get to do whatever you need to do and however you need to do it without anybody ever trying to tell you you can't. Without anybody ever trying to tell you should try it this way, without, you know what I'm saying? Unless the advice feels like it fits and it kind of processes through and it gives you some new ideas or benefit to something, then yes, but that's all up to you, and it's all divinely timed or divinely orchestrated. All of it. The Fool in the reverse gives me all of it's exactly what this is. You know that the card on this says freedom of innocence, freedom of innocence, freedom of innocence. No more feeling innocent. You don't have to be like that innocent little sheep that's following the herd. You can be the wolf. That mystery, that discovery, that ability to be an adventurer and take risks. No, you're gonna be the wolf. The fool follows their heart. They're like the wolf. They're like the wolf because they go off on their own. They only take what they need with them, and they have all the faith in the road ahead. Do they know that they're gonna get their next meal? No, they don't. But do they trust it? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Do they know what they're going to encounter along the way? No, they don't. But do they trust it? Yes, they do. Do they have the faith in themselves that they can be strong enough to embrace or endure anything that comes their way? Yes. So this is what you're doing. This is what's happening for you. The Fool is going to be flipping over for you, and you're going to be able to follow your heart. You're going to be able to have faith in the road ahead, the mystery, the unknown. You're going to have a fearless attitude with an adventurous spirit. You're going to allow all of those things to be the abilities within yourself that have always been a part of you to reactivate, because they've been activated before. They've just been shut down by other people and external people's opinions and judgments and projections and conditions. But now you're shutting all that off, and you're going to be retuning and reactivating true self, the self that you were when you were a child, the one that you actually were able to be bubbly, be goofy, jumping around, whatever you felt like doing, swinging on swings, going to the park, playing a little basketball, shooting little hoops, kicking the soccer ball on the grass, running around if that's something you like to do, chasing butterflies, looking at all the flowers, smelling all the flowers, whatever it may be that you used to do as a child that you love to do so much. You're going to be tapping back into that energy, and you're not going to allow those adults that tried to tell you, hey, you need to calm down. Hey, you need to stop doing that. Hey, you need to stop acting like that. Hey, you need to stop saying stuff like that. Hey, we don't act like that. No, you don't act like that. But me, I do act like that. And you're witnessing it. So don't tell me what we don't act like, when apparently that's what acting is. I'm not going to act. I'm going to be. Okay? That's what I got. I hope this helped in any way it could. Y'all are amazing. Really, you are. Aquarius is energy, or Chinese, your tiger too. But you got this, Pisces. Believe me. Have a beautiful rest of your day.